Hey, welcome to my tutorial on basically how to get big hair. Yeah, I love these hair toppers. When you wash them, they're so much more voluminous, but I'm in particular trying to get curls on this one. And there's a beautiful wave pattern when you do wash them, but I have a little bit of a trick that I sort of learned from another person at Uniwigs on how to get a lot more volume and a lot more curls. So I am kind of did my own version of it, and so I'm going to share it with you. Right now, I'm just washing this particular hair topper. As you know, when you get them, they're very, very straight, and they're beautiful and silky, and it's still silky soft, but you're going to see a huge difference in the volume, and it's just it makes it a completely different hair piece. So I do wash it with Kerastase, and I also do a deep conditioning, and I will link those products down below. But you can use any deep conditioning, and I wouldn't use it too much. I did it on the first time, and yeah, you can see my hands and my neck shake a little bit. That is part of my disease, so I apologize for that. And I do appreciate any messages that I've received. I'm fine. It's just part of being sick. So, okay. So, as you can see, I'm just kind of working the conditioner through. You don't put it on the top near the roots because it'll loosen the roots. I've never had a problem yet, so but I am pretty careful not to put anything that close to the roots. Obviously, you can put shampoo as long as it's not like a conditioning shampoo, and then after I work that through, you can already see that there's a little bit of curl happening already, but I will let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes, and I have let it sit longer than that. But for this, it's the first time doing it, so yep, that's me tapping my thing. Just to let you know, 20 to 30 minutes has passed. And now I'm going to put it back under. I do use like lukewarm to cool on the water, and I've just read that that's better for the hair. So there's me. I'm very gentle with it, and I try not to pull on it or anything like that. I just let the water go through all the way to the ends. I'm not sure you need to sit here and watch all of this. You could probably skip ahead. I don't know. Maybe I should have taken out this part. I will tell you though that I do love, and you can see I'm actually wearing my Breeze hairpiece in the truffle brown while I'm doing this, and it's had quite a workout itself and quite a few washes. I normally wash them, I would say once every 3 to 4 weeks. I will wear something every day, so I'm pretty careful though. I don't go dragging my head in the mud or anything like that. I'm mostly inside. That is how I get the excess water out, by the way. I just gently squeeze. I think that's the best way to do it. You don't want to, it's a pretty hardy hairpiece. They all are. But I'm overly cautious, I think. And then I do wrap it up inside of a towel. I swaddle it like a baby, and then I kind of just get all the excess moisture out of it. And once I do that, you'll start to see much more of the curl pattern coming through. So probably could have skipped this stuff too. Yep, that's me, pushing on the towel on the side of the thing. All right, moving on. I just feel like maybe you should have some music listening while, like hold music. All right, This is taking longer than I thought. And honestly, it's, it is a little time consuming when you first start, but you get the hang of it. There you can see it's got actually, I would say a decent amount of curl for being soaking wet. I'm just getting whatever little excess moisture I can out of it. And then in a second, I'm going to sit down on the edge of the tub and I'll just start explaining what it is that I did. So I went into the kitchen, and when you have the Thanksgiving turkey and you tie the legs together, so I got that kind of twine, and I used that, and I cut it into two pieces. One of them is a short piece, which you'll see, and then one of them is fairly good size, and I put that, I actually tied into a circle, and then I clip it. And there I am, getting ready to clip, and you'll see the smaller pieces attached to it. I'm sure that you could probably figure out a better way to do this. This is just the way I found, and it does get pretty good results. So, all right. It's sort of not showing in the video. Oh, there we go. So you can see I'm just hooking it up underneath the clips, and then you'll see how it ends up in the end. And then I have like this little hooky thing, but I used to, before I got the little hooky thing, I used to use like 2 hangers, but you'll see. And I actually hook them through the twine. All right, so there it is, all hooked up, and there's the short piece. And then I go to the opposite side and hook it under the other side. There I go. And now it kind of creates like a little cradle, or like a hammock kind of swing thing for your hair. And you want that because you're going to let gravity do all the lifting for you. All right. So here I'm about to hook the thing through. I don't even know what you would call that. We'll just call it a hook. And you can see I did get quite a bit of that moisture out of the hair. Now, I don't brush it or anything like that, and I'm sure that you probably could, but I'm afraid of pulling those hairs through. So, and we want to keep as much of the volume as we can. All right. We're gonna go into the other room, and I will show you. Here's the other part of the bathroom. And so I have it on the hook, and then I take, as you can see, and I take it and hook it through my hanger. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I want it off the wall. Like, I don't want it touching the wall. And I happen to hang it above a vent. And because it's cold outside, that works out kind of nicely. So it's just constantly getting like a little bit of warm heat coming up from the vent in the floor. But I don't think that's necessary, or you could probably sit there and use a diffuser if you wanted to do this quickly. For me, I just let it sit overnight. Now you can see one of my pups in the background. Yeah. So we're just going to let it sit. Actually, I do use a little bit of, it's a curl mousse glaze. And when I say a little bit, I mean like a little bit. And I think it's the Kenra. And I will link that at the bottom as well. There you go. Yep, curl glaze mousse. Vinny's watching. That's the little pup in the background. All right, yeah, just a little bit. And I mean like a little. And I'm just going to coat my hands with it and very, very gently squeeze into the hair. I just want it to get, you know, a little bit everywhere. And it also, it's not a stiff, you know, mousse. If you're using just a tiny bit, I think if you put a whole bunch, you'd probably get some serious 80s hair, but which is not a bad thing. But for me, I kind of want soft, loose, wavy curls. So I just use that tiny bit, and we're going to let it sit. For me, I'll let it sit overnight. But, oh yeah, I'm just showing you curls. Okay. All right. So we'll say goodbye to that. And then unfortunately, you're going to see me the next morning, which was this morning. And here I am back, yeah, with no hairpiece on, so you can see, yeah, my hair is gone. But boy, did that fluff up quite a bit, and it looks pretty good. As I said, I do have mine over a vent, but I don't know that that really matters because I've done it without doing it over a vent, and it comes out quite fluffy, just as, you know, much as it does with the vent. I think the vent just makes it, you know, go a little bit faster. And there's no moisture left in it, so we're just going to pop that right out. And just prepare yourself for a big hair. Yep. And there goes that neck shake again. Alrighty. Here we go. I'll just stop talking for a second. And you're going to see my terrible hair in a second. Oh yeah, I am popping those closed. I suggest keeping them closed until you put your hair topper on. Only because it'll pull, you know, on your hair, and for me, I really don't have that much hair left, so. Alrighty. It's like the 80s are calling me back. Here we go. And big flip. And I can already tell that that is some big hair. And you can take the girl out of the South, but you can't take the South out of the girl. That is some big Southern hair. Alrighty. Now, before I would go out in this, I'm probably going to shush it and, you know, calm it down. But you can tell how much lift there is and volume when you dry it upside down like that. I mean, it's awesome. I like it. And if you don't want the huge lift, but you do want the curls, you can go ahead and put it on a wig stand, and you won't have like the, you know, the high root lift. I personally put dry shampoo and everything I can just to lift my roots so that it looks like this, and this is just a much easier way to get that done. Okay, well, thanks for hanging out with me and being patient, and hopefully you figured out that you could just zoom to the end and see the end result. But yeah, and you didn't have to sit there and listen to me talking, but I did give you some information, and hopefully it was good information. And if you want to figure your own way out of this, that's great. This is just the way I do it. I hope you liked it, and I will see you soon.